This was what?
Oh, we had some other
few weeks ago.
Yeah. Some other spiciness going on.
Controversial statements about Steelers linebacker. We were going to ask you this on the last podcast, but we forgot.
Yeah, Deke was high.
Yeah.
That's just such a tough statement to make. I mean, that's a tough one to make.
So we had Doug Whaley. This was a GM candidate for us too. Yeah, it was like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Said that Jack Ham, 1970s all-decade team, linebacker for the Steel Curtain defenses.
I can't even keep it serious with this comment, bro.
Said that nowadays he would be a special teams backup. His main reason for that was because he said Jack Ham weighs 215 pounds. Show me a linebacker that plays in the NFL that weighs that much.
200 what? 15 or 50?
215. 15.
It's plenty of linebackers that are 215.
Thank you. Not a lot of 250s out there. Plenty of 215s.
I think Deion Jones up in Atlanta was like 215.
Absolutely.
Jerome Baker wasn't nothing but 215 wet.
Bro, we not going to act like Shea won't light like that at times, too.
Like,
come on, bro.
15.
We done seen Shea come in that thing eating them donuts like, yo, I got to get this weight on me real quick. Like, bruh.
It's really unhealthy to have all that weight on you.
I would agree. You want to be fast.
Yeah, you want to be able to move.
That was one of his specialties back in the day, too. Was a coverage linebacker. I feel like he would make a perfect transition to now.
I understand
the comment doesn't make sense.
You just can't disrespect the game like that. You know, that's the same. That's that basketball argument. It's the same with football. Like, players are getting better as time goes on.
True.
You know, it's evolution. It just is what it is. Like, players are getting better as time goes on. You could argue that Ray Lewis in today's game wouldn't be Ray Lewis, you know? So it's like, the game changes. We can't say he would be a teamer in today's game and he was all-American, all-world in his game. It's just a different game now. So it's like, it's unfair to everybody involved to make that statement that this one couldn't play in this era while this one could play in this era. Because the games are different games. Yeah. They're different. The whole position's different now, you know? Like, what you had to do back then, the physicality you could play with back then, you can't play with now.
Very true.
The way you have to cover and get with these athletes now might not have been asked back then. So it's just a different game. But he was all-world to his game. So it's like we can't disrespect his game because when he was playing, he was the man, you know? So it's almost like that's one of them statements what they just say. You just tell people, or you're right. You just let them, you're both right, you know?
Yeah. Because the way I look at it is like this. Like, I definitely side with how you're approaching it, but I also think to myself, hey, when we're comparing guys from different generations, I look at it as if I can take that player and give him the same opportunities that we have now in terms of training, film session, all that stuff, and give him the real time to prepare. I don't think that Jack Ham is a backup special teams player. If he has the full allotment, full offseason, every resource that we have now, I think that he's just as good. I think that he's still able to do some of those things because that is the evolution part. When we talk about exactly, bro. Like, come on, man. Imagine if we hit Jack with hey, look, man, we're gonna get this Pedialyte real quick. Hey, try this. It'll get you an IV instead of this cigarette. I think you'll be a better player here. Like, even the training,
you won't feel nothing.
Come on, man. Ain't that the truth? But think about, like, even just the smarts of, all right, you got more access to more tape, more this, so you can actually watch, study, learn this element of it, the smarter training techniques to save your body. Like, if he was allowed to have that type of stuff, I think it's a different version that we see, man.
Right. I agree with that.
Well, and that's what he says. He says, I had quickness out there and I actually studied the game quite a bit. That was the one thing that he had that he thinks transcends any era.
Yeah.
I think would be a huge benefit to this game.
That's just tough. You just can't make that statement. That's just the long story. You just really can't make that statement.
And you definitely can't make it while you're trying to apply for the Steelers GM job either. That's just it's not a good look. It's not a good look.
Now you're not a fan favorite. You know what I mean? You just brought in a quarterback from Pitt. Everything's Pitt right now. Like, you gotta be a fan favorite. Like, come on. Play the game.
Read the room, man. Read the room. Come on. Read the room.
That wasn't the right joke for the room, man. They about to boo you off the stage.